Now, little Bitcoin, your mother and I are very concerned about you because you've been getting high a lot lately. Can we just have a little talk, please? Okay, we're going to start the music, and then we're going to have a little talk, okay? Here we go. Good morning, everybody. This is Mark Shepard, and this is the Morning Cryptos. This is day 94, I think, of my 90-day challenge. And I can't stop. I'm addicted to cryptos, people. And right here, Bitcoin. Yes, indeed. Bitcoin is the gateway drug to the crypto addiction. But I think it's a healthy addiction. Kind of like my half decaf, half caffeinated highly delicious coffee. But what we all know, Bitcoin's made new highs. You probably know that. This is not a news show, right? But what I wanted to share with you is something really significant that, to me, indicates that it's starting to. We are at the tipping point spot, and that's, to me. And I don't know. We don't know, but. I just, before I went to bed last night, I just Googled the Bitcoin price, and at that point it was 64.01. But here's the interesting: Bitcoin price boom sees students flocking to take cryptocurrency courses. And then in another video, I saw somebody who was an expert, who is a professor of cryptocurrency. Colleges are offering these courses, people. There are more young people taking courses on cryptocurrency than you might imagine. Maybe I should check that article. Maybe just look real quick at it. Because it's fascinating. It's fascinating. The rise of Bitcoin is seeing an increasing number of students signing up for crypto classes at top computer science schools such as Stanford. So in a way, that's really good news. As a result of Bitcoin's increase in value, more students are turning their attention to learning more about them. And to date, the digital currency has hit a new time, blah, blah, new high, 100 billion, blah, blah, blah. Cryptocurrencies are a wonderful way to teach cryptography. Oh, isn't that nice? There are a whole bunch of new applications for cryptography that didn't exist before. So, to me, there's new jobs. This is a growing part of the economy. Like, you can't ignore this anymore. This is going mainstream, people, and that's what's going on. The other piece is that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, in addition to the Chicago Board of Exchange, I don't know, there's two big ones in Chicago, the Merc and the Chicago Board of Trade, or whichever one it is. But there's an options thing. Gee, I screwed that up. It's early, people. I literally just woke up, made my coffee, and came out here. The big money things in Chicago, where they do all those futures and options and derivatives and all that shit, they're coming in, people. They're coming. So, that is not irrational exuberance, people. That is rational exuberance. There's a difference between irrational exuberance and rational exuberance. And either way, again, remember our trading secret. Whatever the crowd does, do the opposite, except when you realize that what you think is the crowd is really a tiny percentage of the population, you and me. The crowd has not come in yet. The crowd is coming, though. I can hear them. And they're coming, and you know what crowds want? Crowds want stuff. They want stuff to eat. They want stuff to drink. And this whole blockchain thing is going to give it to them. At least we think. We hope. So anyway, Bitcoin is cranking. What is to stop it from going to 7? I don't see anything that's going to stop it from going to 7, although we are kind of due for a correction, for a retracement. It's been, the last retracement ended back in September 14th. So we are a month and a half of craziness, right? A month and a half. So if we look at the big picture, when we have these real steep ones, we often have serious corrections. However, we have 2 support spots. So if there is a correction, and it will be temporary as far as I can tell, we may have a correction back to the 49-ish area, or we most likely will have a correction back to here. Right? We also could have something, we might also just come back to this support. But either way, that's acceptable, because there is no other place, despite all these altcoins, there's no other place anywhere in the world where you can get this kind of return on your money. This is the kind of return on your money that the Ponzi schemes promise as a guarantee. But it's outrageous. And why would you put your Bitcoin in a Ponzi scheme when you could just buy Bitcoin and get the same return, right? So hopefully, I don't know if you guys saw my Ponzi scheme special, but if you haven't seen it, you might want to watch it. I kept it short. I kept it short and informative, and I think you might enjoy it, and it might help you. All right, so that's Bitcoin. And before I get going on the other coins, I want to give a shout out to Crypto Rocker, who just turned me on to a token for music, and I'll check that out. I think it's called Voice Coin, and so shout out to Crypto Rocker. And as a musician, why am I here? I'm here because I want to get my music out into the world in a new way. I want to be on the edge of it. And I want to finance my next music projects without. I hate this whole Kickstarter thing. Please, everybody, would you please support me? Would you please? I can't get a record deal. Oh, would you help me to get my music out? And this is no rub on people who are good at that. I just suck at it. I suck at asking my friends for money. I suck at asking my friends to come to my gigs. You know, it's like, that sucks. But cryptos. I think cryptos, if my music was on a blockchain, because here's the deal, music has been destroyed by the fact that anyone can just duplicate an MP3 and boom, it has no value anymore, right? It's like free money. It's like endlessly printed money. It loses its value, right? But if my music was on a blockchain and it was protected digitally, yeah, right, anyway. Let's just do the cryptos, okay? Let's just do the cryptos. It's too big a thought for me to think until my coffee's hit. So Bitcoin Cash, let's just grind down through them here. Bitcoin Cash is up, but people, I just think it's crap. I don't get who would want it. I don't get why it's more expensive than Ethereum. And you might want to watch my morning cryptos from yesterday. I talked about Richard Hart, and he just totally destroyed Bitcoin Cash intellectually and spiritually. So I'm not too into it, but I had been saying if you want it, there was a buy signal. But it's the kind of thing where if you got in good here and it's at 484, I don't know, I would definitely dump it myself. That's just again. All the advice here is for me. This is my self-hypnosis program. All right, so Bitcoin Cash, whatever, right? It's going up, but that's not sustainable. Bitcoin Mama Papa Bitcoin seems to be sustainable. We'll see. There's a lot of new money coming into the market right now. So Dash, again, kind of staying in its little cage here. And let's just poking on EOS real quick. EOS had a boost. What's going on with EOS? That's looking good. As far as I know, EOS is still an Ethereum token. But it's nice to see there's some life in the EOS project, and I am keeping an eye on EOS. It is purportedly, making multiple improvements over Ethereum. But again, Ethereum is making multiple improvements as well. And you cannot underestimate name recognition in this space, people, because there's so much information, and we are in the age of attention, and people are so overwhelmed with info that Bitcoin and Ethereum, Litecoin and Dash, that may be all that people can take in, and then, Bitcoin being the gateway drug, then you find Ethereum, then you find, then you kind of, it trickles down into these other things, and then it becomes a little bit more of an insider's aficionado kind of a thing, where the people who are really deep into it seem to know what's going on, right? And the rest of them are just throwing money at stuff. So that could be interesting. I think the other interesting thing is when Bitcoin makes a retracement or a correction, and it will, I think the altcoins are going to start moving opposite to it, but we'll see. That could be fascinating. Fascinating! It's a fascinating time to be alive. So I want to look at Ethereum on the 1 hour real quick. Back below 300. I'm going to get me some Ethereum. I'm going to do it right now. I think that's a hell of a good price for Ethereum. I'm going to get some. I'm going to get me some Ethereum. I'm going to get me some Ethereum. Get me some Ethereum. Get me some Ethereum. Gonna get me some Ethereum. I'm not gonna buy the backs. I'm just gonna buy $50. $50 of Ethereum. $50 of Ethereum, because I gotta pay my rent. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Taxing yourself when the price is right. Make a decision and do it. Boom, my purchase was successful. Look at that. I bought some Ethereum. So every day I buy $20 of Bitcoin. That's my plan. Because I don't miss $20, and it is a tax. It is pay yourself first. All right? So I think Ethereum is going to rock. It's one of the areas that Richard Hart thinks Ethereum's crap, but I've gone into I've been watching the Ethereum thing unfold, and I think today, actually, is it Wednesday? They're having their DevCon. So all kinds of stuff is going to happen. People are going to learn about all the new things about Ethereum. And I think that's going to start moving the market. So anything below 300 to me is a buy signal on Ethereum, because I think it should be at least valued at 500. If Bitcoin Cash is close to 500, why is Ethereum not rocketing, right? But we know it has it in it. Look what happened. And it's just, the thing is, it rocketed up, and then it rocketed back down. But then it rocketed back up. And it has been just absolutely hanging tight in this 300 zone for a while now, for quite the time. Since September 19th-ish. Right? So that's Ethereum. We'll see what's going on with it. We'll see what happens. IOTA, just checking in. Litecoin is still doing what Litecoin does. And every day I say, Litecoin is, how does it manage to have higher bottoms every day and stay at the same price? I don't know how it does that, but it's doing it. And it's only a matter of time, people. Just hang in, be patient. Litecoin's going to rock. It will rock. And I'm kind of jonesing to talk to Charlie Lee. Personally, I kind of like him. I like his energy, and I would kind of like to know what's going on with him. I follow him on Twitter, and he's said some pretty interesting stuff on Twitter. So you might want to follow him on Twitter. I think that's a good idea. So basically, Litecoin this is the 1 hour chart. Not a bad time to get you some. back to the 1-day chart, get a clearer. Yeah, I mean, it's right at its kind of middle ground here. You see how it was below this line for a little bit, went down to 45. It went as high as 70, touched 70. So we're kind of right in that mid-range. And again, the bottoms are still higher. People, this is interesting. I think it's going to pop. I think it's going to pop. Ba-da-ba-ba. Neo, chugging along, just keeping an eye on it. When we say go, tanking. Good. Get you some more, Balky. I might get me some more when we say go right now. Huh. Got to figure out where I'm going to get it from. Okay, and XMR Monero, same thing, chugging along. So the altcoins are kind of just sitting there, people. Let's look at Civic against Ethereum. Boo, 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 just sitting along. And let's look at Quantum against Ethereum. Just kind of chugging along. Good. Okay. So the big picture crypto charts, the World Coin Index. Let's hit refresh here. See what the hell is going on. Like, I want to see Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to start going down. But again, I don't know who actually wants it or why it's up 13%. Like, why would it be? I don't get it. Just because people want something less expensive than Bitcoin, that sort of has the Bitcoin name on it, like, yeah. So, a lot of red over here. The Quantum's hanging at 10. Zcash, Ripple, Dash, Neo, Grocery Coin. Yeah, that's easy to say. Okay. So anyway, that's it, kids. It's just going up. This is one of those days. It's one of those days. There's not much to say other than Bitcoin's made a new high. High. Higher. And then the old school is going to come out and go, it's a bubble. It's so predictable, people. And maybe it is a bubble. If so, it's the spot where the bubble just starts. Right? When the bubble's out to here, when 95% of the world owns Bitcoin, that will be an interesting time. And it's coming, just not today. But today is one of the things that's leading us to mass adoption, because this is the news, people. This is the news. All right. So that's it for today. My name is Mark Shepard, and if you haven't checked out my special reports based on my 90-day challenge, you might want to check them out on my channel. I'll try to remember to stick it behind or after this video, so you can just click on it. I did a little thing on Ponzi schemes. I also did 2 days ago, I did a special report on all the stuff I've learned, the things that I've personally learned that you might be able to apply to your life in a way that hopefully makes sense for you, that gives you power, that keeps you safe, that protects your capital, that protects your emotional roller coaster so that you can stay steady and unattached to outcomes because you have a plan, so that if it goes up or down, you know what you're doing, you have a plan, you're fine. So my basic thing is just buy $20 of Bitcoin a day. That's my advice to myself, right? $20 a day. Today I'm buying less because it's gone up. But when it does retrace, when it does come back, I'll buy more, right? And it's automated. I don't have to think about it. I'm still making conscious decisions with the others, but I just feel like Bitcoin, I've been on and off again with it. It's like an on again, off again love affair, right? But sometimes you just gotta, you know what? It's time to commit. It's time to commit, and it's time to get in before the huge mass of money that is about to flows into it. All right? So that's it for today. My name is Mark Shepard. This has been The Morning Cryptos, and I appreciate you guys. I deeply, deeply appreciate you guys watching, and those of you who have left some amazing comments. I really appreciate that encouragement. And I'm just trying to share my own journey in a way that makes sense for me, and this is what I do every morning anyway. I figure I might as well share it with you guys. I also do it about 4 other times during the day. I do it at noon, I do it at dinner time, and I usually do it before I go to bed as well, just to check in, see what's going on. And I've never felt like that. I've never been the kind of person that watches sports, or I've never been a news junkie. In fact, I never watch the news, the mainstream news. I get all my news from Stephen Colbert. And I usually watch a little Stephen Colbert while I'm making my coffee. So I have a little lightness, a little lightness. There's hope in the world. In spite of what's going on in Washington or around the world, there is hope, people. There is hope. We live in a digital age. And the idea is that hopefully we can make a change that benefits people all over the world and takes the power out of the hands of the few into the hands of the many, at least financially. And I want to see that. So, again, remember, there is no other place on the planet to get this kind of a return for your money. That's it. There's no other savings vehicle, no other investment vehicle that the average person can just step up to, get a Coinbase account, use my link below. You'll get $10 of Bitcoin. I'll get $10 of Bitcoin. It'll be great. And then we can hang out together. It'll be really sweet. And then we'll all get rich, right? And it's funny because a lot of the people, they make reference to the people who are coming in to get rich quick. It's not about getting rich quick. It's about preserving your own capital, your own value, your own energy, your own time and work. Right now, it's being eroded by the US dollar just every year, 2 to 3% worth less. Every year, they keep putting more and more money into the economy, but it's imaginary money. But they call Bitcoin imaginary money, but just look at it. People value it. These are people. These are people who trust Bitcoin with their money, but they ain't trusting Wall Street. Right? So, anyway, that's it for today. I love you guys. I'm out of here. Let's start some music and onward to the day. Tally ho! Cowabunga! Shazam! Bitcoin has just made a new high. Again, pay attention. Should be interesting. Go! Start the music already, okay? Okay. I'm not a schizophrenic. Yes, you are. No, you're not. Shut up.